I'm going to make a case for both Devin Lloyd and Travis Etienne today here on our bonus episode of Locked On Jaguars.
You are Locked On Jaguars, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It is, in fact, your team every day here on Locked On Jaguars. We thank you for making us your first listen. Little afternoon bonus here for you. We're going to talk about the case for Devin Lloyd and the case for Travis Etienne. We will get to that in just a second. You are on the #1 sports podcast network that is Locked On. We thank you for making us your first listen and joining us each and every day here on Locked On Jaguars. Today's show and episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Let's get right down to it and make a case for Devin Lloyd. The dude's an all-pro. You don't get those dudes very often. He's 6'3", 240 some odd pounds, and runs like the wind. He made so many big plays on defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Would have probably been a first-team All-Pro and top 5 in NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett is going to get that regardless, though. I'll tell you that, because he broke the sack record. However, to even be mentioned in that same category and not just be a Pro Bowler, but an All-Pro, even while he missed games, tells you the value of Devin Lloyd as a football player. The key is does that value translate when it comes to situational value for the Jacksonville Jaguars in terms of positions? And the situation is, at this point, can you give him that kind of money, knowing you have to pay Trayvon Walker, knowing that there are other things on this roster that you need on the interior as well as on the edge, outside corner, and restocking the offensive line and possibly even giving Travis Etienne some money, who we'll discuss in just a second. So that all of that stuff factors in. When teams don't re-sign players or teams decide to let folks test the free agency market, it's not necessarily an indictment on that player himself or what that player is or is not capable of. It's more about what is best for the team as far as a roster building, team building process without cherry picking. I would be way more critical of them for not re-signing him had they picked him in the first place. And the reason why is because when you use a first-round pick on a player, you hope he turns out to be an all-pro. You can't then say, well, he turned out to be too good, and now we can't keep him, a la Michael Parsons. There's no reason why the Dallas Cowboys should have gotten rid of Michael Parsons and said, that's just a lot of money to pay one guy, but then you're going to pay all these other dudes all of this money, and when you add them together, they don't equal the impact of Michael Parsons. Like Jalen Ramsey, when he wanted money, they wouldn't give it to him. He asked for a trade, and I had somebody tell me, well, you don't really need a shutdown corner making $100 million. Yeah, because the team was bad in 2018. That's why. But you guys picked him. You picked him in 2016. So for me, I'm thinking like that doesn't make sense. Didn't you pick him to turn out to be an all-pro? Yeah. So what's the point in not keeping him once he becomes an all-pro? But in this case, the Jaguars didn't pick him. The only thing that could make me have a head-scratcher moment about this is if James Gladstone ever takes an off-ball linebacker in the first round, I'm going to be like, what are you doing? I do believe they think that the variance and the difference between guys in the first round and the third and fourth round at that position is not that high. And if their experience has led them to believe that, then it's hard to argue with it. And it's really hard to argue with it anyway, because it's probably exactly right. And maybe they have their eyes on somebody else that they can get and get similar production. And maybe they believe that even though Devin Lloyd's a good player, that they were able to extract that out of him because of who they are, and that it worked hand in hand with Devin Lloyd also being super, super talented, but they were able to extract some things out of him that other people couldn't. And maybe that means that they can do that again with somebody else. Travis Etienne is another player that is up for an extension. And I'm going to make a case for the Jaguars to keep him. While I understand with both of these players why there's a chance they wouldn't keep them both. We're going to discuss that. Let's get to it here in just a second as we continue with our bonus episode on Locked On Jaguars. Today's show sponsored and brought to you by TurboTax. Instead of spending hours trying to fill out forms to get every deduction you can, worrying about whether you got it right, all you got to do is just go to TurboTax, man. You don't let taxes take over your life. They'll handle your taxes for you. TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert start to finish without the stress or guesswork. They know all the forms you need. They know the Schedule Cs. They know everything. If you're self-employed or if your situation is really, really confusing sometimes, they will unravel all the confusion and take care of it for you. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in if a TurboTax expert did not file your taxes for you last year. Just make sure you file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. And today's show is sponsored and brought to you by FanDuel. And man, if you ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person, here's your chance. FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already working and looking at the board and you're thinking about which team can make a deep run, and I got mine too. I ain't going to tell you who it is, but this is the perfect time to lock in. I love futures this time of year, whether it's picking a team to win the championship or grab a conference title. It adds to the extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. Visit FanDuel.com to get started and use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Rocking and rolling here on Locked On Jaguars, where it is your team every day. On our bonus episode today, the case for Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne is a good football player. Case closed. He can run. He can catch. He's a willing blocker. He's explosive. The only thing I can knock Travis Etienne for, and I say it with a smile on my face because I know y'all already know what it is because I hear it from a lot of the fans of this show all the time. And what that is he seems to get caught by the sprinklers sometimes. Doesn't it look like sometimes when he's running so fast, he trips on his own feet? And just that one little grab. Now, the thing that didn't happen as much this year as last year is he used to look like, you ever seen the Animal Planet when a cheetah's chasing the gazelle and the gazelle turns and that cheetah falls and his legs are going all over? Travis Etienne used to look like every time he got tackled, man, that his body wasn't even connected. It's like when you hit him in the chest or the hip or anywhere, legs and arms flying all over the place. You'd be like, dang, is he all right? And then he gets up and he has that bounce and he runs back. And maybe that was his way of absorbing hits, but it always seemed like his hits were worse than everybody else. That kind of went away this year, and he started protecting himself, getting a little bit of a body lean. And if wherever contact was made with him, he did not go backwards. He went forward. So I saw a lot of improvement in him actually this year. And maybe he just got stronger. Maybe he was more healthy. But he sure seems like a dude that you'd love to see around here for another 3 or 4 years, doesn't he? Now, the economics of it, they have to line up. They absolutely have to line up. And this wasn't his first big season, by the way. He has played tremendous football for a couple of years now, especially a few years, actually. He did real good when he came back from missing his entire rookie season. So I really like him, man. I like him as a football player. I like him as a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars team. It's all about economics. If they can find a way to get this done, and I hate that hometown discount stuff. I don't believe in that. But If they make him a nice, decent offer, and then that offer's still on the table, and he takes a look somewhere else, and he could probably get more money on a bad team, or he could get a lot more money on a team that thinks they're close and really, really good, like the Chiefs maybe. That would be the danger point. The Chiefs ain't got no money right now, so I don't think Patrick Mahomes he cleared 40 some odd million under the cap, and I think that only got them to the point where they're $4 million under or over. So the thing is, but you get the point. Good teams like that. How many teams like that actually need a starting running back that they can pay $10 million a year? I don't know. When it gets to the point where it's lesser teams, then it becomes a point where he has to make a choice. Is it going to be a little bit more money, or are you going to come back here where you're happy? It's not up to the Jaguars to meet the demands of other teams. It's up to them to do it. And it's not up to Travis doesn't have to give anybody a quote-unquote discount. I don't even frame it that way. He has to make the choice that makes him happy, and hopefully the choice that makes him happy is one that makes us all happy too. We'll see how that will go. And just like we'll keep monitoring and watching each and everything that goes on around the leagues. Tony Wiggins here with Locked On Jaguars. We appreciate y'all, man. Never, ever taking you for granted here on Locked On Jaguars. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.